everybody, Martha Kennedy here. Today we're going to talk about our Wonder data collection. We know that we have residents that come in and we do risk assessments on them. We do risks to make sure they don't get into any type of harm and that we're protecting them. One of those is the Wonder risk assessment. Okay, so you're going to do this on admission, readmission, change of condition. Change of condition could include when somebody starts wondering, or when somebody starts to have like an illness, they become a little different. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're going to run over to PCC, you're going to pull up under assessments the Nexion Wonder data collection, click new, you'll start that. There's 12 questions on here and they have a different scoring system, a different point system. When you're finished, it's going to either score this resident low, moderate, or high. If the resident scores moderate or high, the interdisciplinary team will come together and they will find the best interventions for this resident, if there is any that need to be in place. Let's talk about the questions. The first question is kind of a basic thing, and it says, does the resident have a cognitively impaired with poor decision-making skills? And what this means also, are they poor decision making? Do they have maybe, you think about cognitively impaired, you might think dementia, but it may not always be. It could be any other type of a mental illness where they have scattered or disorganized thinking. Maybe they have delusions. Okay, so that's where you're going to click yes. No would be they don't have any, right? So on all these questions, if it's no, that means they don't have it. Okay, number 2, has the resident wondered? Now, I'm not going to say, have you ever wondered? What I'm going to do is talk to the family, the spouse, the significant other, and ask them if they ever had any type of a concern about this resident wondering. Or, have they attempted it? So just ask them if they ever had a concern. Answer will be yes or no. Does the resident does the wondering place the resident in significant harm? What that would mean is, if they went outside, would they know where to go? Is it hot? Do they have a problem that would lead them into getting into some type of harm? Now, that would be outside the facility. Inside the facility, some places may have stairs. They're talking about that too, like if somebody could get out and get into stairs, would that place them at harm? Number 4. Does the wondering significantly intrude on the privacy of others? So this is going to be inside the facility. Are they wandering into other residents' rooms? Are they going to the bathroom? Are they intruding on their space? That type of thing could also, place them into some danger, maybe. Then we have number 5. Is the resident a new admission, or have they been readmitted? And this is in the past 30 days. And are they having trouble with it? So they're not accepting of the new situation. Yes or no? Does the resident have any visual, auditory, or communication deficits? Okay, what that is asking, and just stick to the question, are they hard of hearing? Can they not see? Are they deaf? Do they have a problem with communication? The answer is yes or no. Don't think about how it goes into this, just answer the question yes or no. Does the resident ambulate or perform locomotion independently with a walker, with a wheelchair? So they don't just have to walk, but can they, once they get into their chair, wheel themselves around? Do they have a automatic wheelchair? Do they have a walker that they can go it doesn't have to be very long distance. It can be a short enough distance to get out that door. So do they verbally express the desire to want to go home, or do they pack up their belongings and leave? Or do they just come in and they're not unpacking? Look for those, and that's a yes or a no on that question, okay? Do the residents receive any medications that might make them a little more agitated? People have different effects of medication. Sometimes people will take anything that's a stimulant, or like a prednisone or type of steroid, or sometimes when they'll take the inhalers, they might get a little more agitated or confused, so watch out for that. Is this a new behavior, or has there been changes in their functional status? Have they had new medications? Are they having pain? Are they having an acute illness? sometimes when our elderly get an infection, they might be more confused. Their oxygen may go low. They'll be confused that way. Did they have a personal tragedy or hear some bad news and they feel like they just have to get out and see what's going on? So those things should also trigger this assessment. We should know what's going on. A lot of times we'll get our residents maybe after they've had a loss of a spouse, and so now they're on their own and they may come into us. So those are things we want to include on this assessment. Is the resident searching or seeking to find their spouse or family? This is any time of the day. So maybe during the day they're okay, but at night they start looking, they want to go home from work or they're looking for their family. So that's something to look at. It's a yes or no. Does the resident's former lifestyle or profession affect their current behavior? Were they a night watchman, it says on here, or were they like a mailman where they walked around a lot? I mean, do they feel more comfortable when they're doing something like that? So watch out for those. Again, when you're finished, you're going to save, sign, and lock. This is going to give you a score for that resident. The score is going to be 0 to 6 means they're low, 7 to 11 means they're moderately wonder risk, and then 12 and above is going to say that they're high risk. So any of those things, any of those scores, moderate or high, the interdisciplinary team's going to come together and they're going to find the best interventions for that resident. I thank you so much, and I thank you the most for keeping our residents safe.